Since we started cruising aboard our sailboat full-time, we've learned that a large part of this lifestyle is constant boat maintenance. There always seems to be something that needs to be upgraded or fixed, and even now while we're cruising in the Bahamas, that still hasn't changed. As we explore the Berry Islands in this week's video, we finally get to experience sailing life as we dreamed it would be. But in between beautiful anchorages, we're dodging storms and, of course, trying to problem-solve issues aboard our boat. But I guess you can say that's just a part of the deal when you choose to live life out at sea. We're out moving again today. We left Bimini this morning. We were up very early before the sun came up. I think about 5:30 is when we were off the dock. Earlier this morning, there was some rainstorms out in the distance, and we even saw like a water cyclone trying to come down a little bit. Thankfully, it was like far off in the distance that it was nothing that we had to worry about, but it's starting to clear up a little bit. The sun's coming out. Now we're on our way. We're jumping over to the Berries today, and we are making our way across I think it's called the Bahama Bank, and so we're essentially sailing through like 20 to 15 feet of water throughout all of our trip today. And it's a long one. I think we're gonna be out here for close to 12 hours. But lucked out, we have a really good wind today. We're currently averaging like 7 knots, but the main and the head sail out, we got them out the full way. We're getting about 13 knots on our port beams. So yeah, it's exciting. It's been a while since we've had a good sail like this. I might have just jinxed us by speaking those words into existence, because not long into our sail, we noticed a sudden change in the engine's pitch. Dylan ran down below and found that our alternator was turning on and off and wasn't charging the batteries to 100%. Thankfully, nothing catastrophic, but with gloomy weather forecasted for the next few days, we needed every amount of power we could get so that devices could stay charged for the work week. And since we wouldn't be able to pull in much through our solar panels, we were relying on our engine to put us back at 100. Unsure what the problem could be, Dylan hopped onto a call with Almar support to try and troubleshoot.
Heading across the bank now, I noticed the alternator stopped charging our battery bank. We have 900 amps of lithium, and it's programmed for lithium, but it only got to 13 volts and it was tripping off saying it was full. So using Starlink, which is great, I was able to call Balmar support, and they're suggesting that I change the battery type to AGM, let it save, change it back to LFP, and see if that gets it going. He's thinking there might be some type of bug in the programming or something. So we'll go ahead and give that a shot. Engine's off, so it's hot as crap. Alright, change back to lithium now, and all we gotta do is wait for it to cycle through 3 times, and then it'll say SAV for save, and we can fire up the engine and give it another go.
After several minutes of troubleshooting, the engine was back on and we were making good speed to the Berries. However, poor Dylan didn't have much time to rest because shortly after we heard another noise. Only this time it was coming from our fishing line. We got fish on!
Fish on!
Why does it keep zooming?
He's like pink.
Yeah. Dylan's getting a good workout in.
Oh my god, my hand is cramping. What the hell? Why? One at a time, maybe.
Yeah, you're getting them. We did dump the main to try and slow us down a little bit. Okay, I'm sure some of you might have just caught on to the mistake I made in only dumping our mainsail. Most of our speed comes from the head sail, which is what Dylan had told me to dump, along with putting our engine in idle. But for no reason other than stupidity, I got the two confused and instead dumped the mainsail, which meant we were still moving at around 5.5 knots, and we were soon going to find out that that was far too fast for us to try and reel this guy in. Come on, Dilly, he's almost here! Oh!
We're going too fast. Yeah, I guess we gotta slow down more. No!
Oh,
All that work!
damn! Oh, just as we were about to get him to the boat, he got free! No fish dinner tonight. All right, we made it to the Berries. Today's trip was a longer one. I think it clocked in at about 12 hours, but we had a good sail, even though we did have the motor running to kind of give us a little extra push, but yeah, it actually turned out to be a bit of a sporty sail at the end there. I think we were seeing 17 at the most, 17 knots.
Yeah, 17 knots apparent, 60 degrees, 50 degrees apparent. Yeah, 80 miles, 12 hours, give or take. And we motor sailed the whole way just so we would get here and we could anchor in the daylight still. So.
Which we did. Yeah, we got here before. The sun's still out. We're gonna have the sunset here in a couple of minutes, but I think we'll be in the Berries for a couple of days, and then we're gonna jump to Nassau and then make our way over to the Exumas. Hopefully not too far in the near future.
Resetting the alternator charge controller to AGM and back to lithium did not solve our issue, but I did figure it out. So when I installed the alternator back in Sandusky, the factory harness that came with the Balmar MC618 alternator charge controller, the negative sense wire that's supposed to go to the bank, I ran it directly to the alternator and was that was utilizing the existing engine to DC ground wire point. Now that wire is on my list to actually replace, and it's now biting me in the butt. So we'll move the alternator charge controller negative wire to the battery bank where it should be with lithium. Also replace that ground wire from the engine block to the main DC distribution bus bar. So here you can see that is the grounding point for our engine block and the alternator back to our main DC distribution bus, negative distribution bus. And you can see those connections are very well corroded. Those have been the original connections that I meant to get to at some point, but don't fix what wasn't broken type deal. So we're going to go ahead and get these two wires replaced and get them actually upgraded to 4-aught, because I believe this is only 2-aught, and we upgraded all of our core system to 4-aught from the bank to the main distribution bus.
Once the wire was replaced, we got off the boat and stretched our legs at the beach. And then, after a couple of windy and gloomy days, we were back out on the water to jump down to the southern islands in the Berries. Fish on!
They're a small little guy.
Oh yeah! That's not a barracuda, is it?
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh no! Barracuda can carry ciguatera, which is a toxin that doesn't break down even when cooked. And even though this guy was on the smaller side, we didn't feel like it was worth the risk, so he was released back into the waters. It was a little discouraging after having no luck with the fishing lines, but our low spirits were quickly forgotten when two locals decided to drop by and catch a ride off our bow. Once the anchor was down, we were finally able to do what we had dreamed of for so long: swim off the back of our boat in some beautiful blue water. There is Atlas right there. We're in the Berry Islands still. We made it down to one of the more southern islands, but we are jumping back up to the main island today because there is currently a storm system that's making its way across the Gulf. It's a little unnerving because all the different models are showing completely different predictions as to what's going to happen, but one of the models is showing gusts up to, I think, 35. I mean, we're definitely going to get something. So to play it safe, we're going back up to the main island because there's better protection from the winds that are going to be coming out of the west. But yeah, it's pretty nice where we're at right now. We have this whole beach, nice blue waters. It was looking a lot more blue yesterday when it was sunny out, but even with the clouds, you can tell it's pretty nice. So it was back up to the main island to wait out the storm. The anchorage we were at was well protected from the winds, but not from the ocean swell that was still coming out of the east from the winds the previous day. And after a bumpy night, we picked up anchor and hightailed it back down to the southern islands. Just like our last sail down there, it was only a few minutes into our trip when the fishing reel started going off. But the stars just weren't aligning for us to get a good catch this week. Ew! Oh!
Alright, there he is.
Bye-bye, Barracuda.
Alright, wash my hands.
Can see Atlas way out there. So we're just getting out this morning and getting Aspen to shore, and we're currently anchored down towards Hoffmann Cay. So we're just enjoying a nice little private island to ourselves this morning, but when we were walking around, we noticed there are hundreds of hermit crabs that inhabit this little island, and they're all over the place. So I just wanted to show you real quick. So if I pan around, you can kind of see, like, there's one right there. There's another one right there. And then we got this little guy hanging out. But yeah, it just seems like wherever, if you really look, you can see there's hermit crabs. They seem to really like up here where all the pine needles are. I just thought that was cool. The only other time I've seen hermit crabs is in like souvenir gift shops. So it was kind of nice to see them out in their natural habitat for once. And so many of them. The sand's a little soft here, isn't it?
Soft, yeah.
Here, wait, hold on. This doesn't happen very often, but I'm taller than Dylan for once. How's the view from down there?
Terrible.
We're back from our walk. We got Aspen back here, but now
We're gonna see if the ocean is calm enough this morning, and go see if we can find some reefs and do some spearfishing.
Dylan's gonna do spearfishing. I'm still working on equalizing my ears freediving. I've been really struggling with that. So while he's hopefully catching some dinner, I'm just gonna be playing mermaids and swimming around trying to figure out
Playing mermaids.
trying to figure out how to properly freedive. While the reef here didn't have anything worth catching with the spear, we still really enjoyed getting to check out all the vibrant sea life and coral. After our dive and a quick lunch break, we took a trip over to the Blue Hole on Hoffmann's Cay. The hole is said to be 600 feet wide and almost 600 feet deep. And the cliff you jump off of is 20 feet tall, but it feels so much taller when you're staring down into the dark abyss below.
And you just never
When we first came to the Berry Islands, we thought it would be just a quick stop along our way to the Exumas. But when your life is dictated by weather, sometimes you end up someplace longer than expected. And I don't think we could have ended up in a better place to be stuck. The Berry Islands ended up becoming one of our favorite stops. From its remote islands, vast marine life, and stunning reefs, the Berry Islands checked off all the boxes on what we were wanting in our time in the Bahamas to look like. In our next video, we're continuing on to the Exumas, which have been a dream destination of ours since we started thinking about life aboard a sailboat. And boy, does it not disappoint. Wow, one of those moments where you're like, I can't believe this is my life right now. Thanks for watching.